Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanted to come on today. Normally I don't do podcasts on weekends because the weekends are mine. However, good morning. Happy Saturday to you. The sun is shining. It's a little bit chillier than usual. However, I hope you're up and out and Adam. It's approximately 9 a.m. here. This is your host, Zappora Camper. So, I wanted to come on because I was thinking about time today. And the title of this podcast is A Picture of Time. I Googled a picture of time, and remarkably, there was no picture of time, except the one that I just posted. There was a picture of a man who was resetting time, a man who was cleaning a large clock. But strangely enough, I have not yet to find a picture of time. And most of you will be wondering, what does this have to do with life? In life, there is no picture. The picture of time that you see is the one that you live. That's the point. Now, I did find a book by Stephen Hawking, A Brief History on Time. Now, most people don't know, maybe you do know Stephen Hawking. I found some quotes by Stephen Hawking, and which are amazing, which have something to do with what we're discussing at this very moment. Now, Stephen Hawking wrote the book. He was a theoretical physicist. He wrote the book on a brief history of time, and which is strange because a brief history of time, if time, if we exist as spirit people outside of time, and God exists outside of time, and someone goes to write a book about time, I would be careful to venture that maybe it would be somewhat difficult to write about time. You could write about what has happened in history, but time in itself, unless if you are physically out of time and God, it would be difficult to describe time. But I wanted to I read on and I began to read some of his quotes from many of his books, and one of them being, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. Okay. People won't have time for you if you are always angry and complaining. Well, now that one is quite true. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die. I have so much I want to finish or to do first. So I'm going to talk about time today. This is the message. Many of us, and me, myself included, we will say, oh, I have my whole life to do this, or I'll just put this off for now, or tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into next month, and then next month turns into 6 months from now, and 6 months turns into 9 months from now, and then 9 months turns into a whole year, and before you know it, you were at the beginning of the year making your goals all over again, and the goals include the things that you didn't accomplish from the previous year. So, I would encourage you today to set goals that you plan on accomplishing in the next year or two. However, make steps towards those goals. Don't make excuses at the end of the year for why you didn't accomplish the goal, because this obstacle was there, because this this stumbling block was there because this happened, or my present circumstance changed, and my present financial circumstance changed, and I was working a lot and I couldn't do it. On your spare time, everybody has spare time. Everybody has free time. Now me, I have 3 jobs. Yes, 3 jobs. I'm working like a slave. But even with those jobs, I still have free time. In between being a mother, I still have time to myself. Like right now, I'm actually doing something that I dreamed of doing at least 5 years ago. This podcast, this sort of audible diary, if you will, was one of my life's work, and one of the things that I wanted to do when I was younger, when I was almost in my teens. I was like, how do you record yourself, and how do you do this, and how do you do that? And then they created an app, and here we are. Fast forward 10 or 15 years later. But whatever you need to do, and not just convince yourself that it needs to be done. Don't convince yourself because someone else is doing something that something needs to be done. Do it because you want to do it. Do it because your heart is in it. It's not worth anything if your heart is not in it. If you don't put 110% into what you're doing, don't do it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting God's time, and you're wasting time, period. The worst thing you could do is put 60% in and expect, and with the expectation that you'll get 110% back. That's not how it works. Equal effort, equal results. I'm going to say that again. Equal effort, equal results. So if you put 60% into what you're doing and you set a goal and you put 60% in, don't be surprised if you get 60% back, because equal effort, equal results. Equal effort, equal results. If you want 110 results, 110% worth of results, you got to put 110% in. I mean, give it your all. And normally what I do is if I put in effort, I put in 110% effort. Now, sometimes you can put in 110% effort and it will not be sufficient enough. In that case, take a step back, regroup. Reorder your steps, because something in your steps is causing you not to get the results that you desire. So, with that being said,
ow,
what happened?
my hurts.
Here. Sorry, my daughter just came in on the podcast. I had to take care of her. You okay? You're okay. You're fine. That's a sticker. It was just a sticker on your face. Well, back to the podcast.
No.
I want to say, sorry, my daughter just slammed the door. It's so weird. I want to say that equal effort, equal results. If you do not put in the amount of effort that you need to achieve that goal, do not do it. I repeat, do not do it, because it's not worth doing it, because then you're going to be disappointed. You're going to have regrets, and then you're going to blame it on obstacles, opposition. And the truth of the matter is, it's just that you failed to put in the effort. So I say all that to say this. I've been talking about time a lot, and I've been thinking about time a lot. There are people who actually physically go up into these big clocks and make sure the clocks are running well, and make sure time is on. Make sure it's on time. And remember, if you want to achieve something, remember God's timing is the greatest timing on earth. It's impeccable. If you are achieving something at a time, there's a possibility that you won't be able to achieve it. You know why? Because God's timing is perfect and your timing is something else. So some of us are out of time. We're out of time with achieving things. Some of us, we have spent our time and wasted our time on things that didn't really matter. And now we're running to catch up. It's okay to catch up. You know, it's okay. And maybe when you were younger, you didn't have that passion or that fire or that zeal to do it, to be successful, to do what you love to do. And maybe somebody told you in your past that you couldn't do it, that it was impossible for you to do it. And you believed them and you stagnated your own destiny. This happens a lot. Trust me, this happens a lot. There's some people that see your potential and they will talk you out of your own destiny. But you believe them and you allow them to do that. And so as a result, here you are 10 years down the road, unaccomplished, unlearned, undeveloped, underdeveloped, unachieved. It's time now to get up and do the things that you wish you could have did when you were younger. I don't care what it is. To somebody else, it may be something outlandish, wild, impossible. But guess what? If you believed it, if you thought it, you could do it. If you thought it into existence, you can do it. If you spoke it out, you could do it. If you thought it, it's possible. So remember, in achieving your goals and living your best life, equal effort equals equal results. Equal effort, equal results. The pendulum is the pendulum of your dreams. It would have you to believe that you could put forth a little tiny bit of effort and then you achieve all these grandiose things. That's a fantasy and a fallacy, if you will. The pendulum, I believe, is balanced when we put forth the same amount of effort. If you want a specific amount or degree of results, you have to put forth the effort that it takes to attain or achieve those results. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot expect results without effort. You cannot expect results without effort. I know this podcast is super long. Yesterday I was actually sick. I was like I had a sinus migraine. And it's really bad. Migraines with sinus included is really bad. This would be the longest podcast you have experienced. But I hope somebody's gaining something out of these little nuggets of wisdom, things that I've learned, things that I'm learning about achievement. And this is my dream. My dream is to share with you what I've learned in life and hopefully write a couple books. Eventually, I will get to the writing of a couple books. But for now, this is my verbal diary. This is my audible diary. And I honor your ears and I thank you all for listening. Go forth and prosper. I want to say my condolences to the Stevens family. They lost a loved one. Some of you don't know them, but I know them. And I believe today is a service down south. May God grant you peace at this time. And I love you all. Thank you all for your listening ears. Continue to pray for South Africa and we're not calling it apartheid-esque tribulations and trials that are going on there. Continue to pray for your globe, for your country, for your planet, for your nations, and your families. Keep everyone in prayer. I hope that you are enjoying this and I hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Have an awesome, amazing, wonderful, extraordinarily productive day. Go forth and prosper, people. One love.
This is the Phenomenal Beats exclusive.